In a world of the cusp of transformation, a question looms large. Will artificial intelligence be a threat or an opportunity? The double-edged sword, artificial intelligence, holds the power to reshape the very fabric of our existence. It has been said that AI is going to create a new future. It's going to redefine how exactly we have seen our life to be, creating new opportunities. But is it really so? Is it going to be so easy and smooth for us? From enhancing medical diagnosis to revolutionizing transportation, the capabilities seem boundless. But what about the ethical dilemmas and job displacement? Visionaries, innovators, and ethicists weigh in, offering insights into the complex dance between promise and peril. Join us on this exploration of the crossroads where human ingenuity meets the machine mind, where the stakes are high and the potential is limitless. Though first-hand accounts and expert analysis will navigate this brave new world together, seeking answers and forging a path forward. So is AI a threat that we must mitigate or opportunity to be embraced? The answer lies how we are going to use it in the future. The choice lies with us, what we are going to make it for tomorrow. Let's join in this intense webinar today. Life with AI, a threat or an opportunity? Let's begin.
It remains a question for all that artificial intelligence is a threat or an opportunity. Today in this webinar, we are going to learn about what exactly is the future of this AI technology. Will the door really be looking for a positive tomorrow, or it is really going to be an uncertain future with this AI technology? In a time when exactly we are surrounded by AI and silently AI is just by our side and we are not even aware that how exactly it is touching our lives. Everything you do, AI really captures your footprint. AI really try to understand your pattern of your daily existence, whether you are searching a next prompt in the Google or you are searching for the next web series. Mind it, AI is watching you. Whether you call it a Siri or whether you call it a Google or Cortana, AI is everywhere. So today we are going to learn how exactly we should really prepare ourselves for the new race, how we should be encountering this new competition from the AI, or it is just to enhance our productivity. All these questions are definitely something which we'll be looking for in today's webinar. AI, which is not a very new topic, it is something which has definitely started from the 50s. And there was a time when someone was really preparing the algorithm. And it was from then, Alan Turing was the first person who basically brought this concept that whether machines can think or not. And after that, we have always seen a lot of revolutions and the evolution taking place in the sphere of artificial intelligence. Today, what is really a fear for most of us that maybe the advent of artificial intelligence are going to make us more insecure. Maybe most of us will be losing job. It is a fact that artificial intelligence are going to make us more competitive. Of course, it is going to chase and give it a competition for every professional, whether you are a office goer or whether you are a business person or whether you are basically having any other source of employment, you are still in competition. Mind it, if you really do not prepare yourself, if you do not upbeat yourself, and if you do not take care of how to make yourself abreast with the technology, then definitely you'll be missing a big thing. So that's why it is important that we should think of how we can update our present skill, how we can really upgrade and upskill ourselves. All these things we'll be learning in today's webinar, and I'm sure if you're really interested to know your survival strategies in the AI race, you must watch today's webinar. So without wasting much time, let's join in today's webinar. All greetings to all, and we are back for one more interesting and intense session today. So I believe this is going to be one of the remarkable sessions which you have ever participated, and this is going to be very interesting with your insights and the knowledge which you would all share. And I'm sure this is a very time appropriate topic which we are all going to discuss today. That really gives me a lot of enthu and lot of happiness to share this thing, because I believe this is something which is very important. So without wasting much time, let me just quickly give you the agenda why we are here today. The purpose is to discuss some interesting topic, and that is why we organize this webinar. The Saturday webinar is mainly to disseminate some current information and to stay you abreast with the industry knowledge, to keep you charged up, give you enough food for your thought, which is basically very important. Basically, we all need to stay active, stay recharged, and that's why we always try to restore. So I think this PMA initiative is mainly to enhance our knowledge bank and to also ensure that we are always updated with the industry information. And that is why we organize this webinar. I'm happy today we have so many participants today. First of all, I would just like to introduce our speakers to all of you. We have in a chronological order, if I see in the sequence of the screen, we have Mr. Venkat Kiran, who is basically a qualified CTO, and he has got a lot of international exposure. He has been in US for a long time. He is now presently heading an international organization, which is having its headquarters in Singapore, operations in Dubai, and he's currently in India. So we would also listen from him. Thank you, sir. We have Mr. Sanjit Basu. As I can see, Mr. Sanjit Basu is a veteran trainer who has been training for almost 2 decades now. He is one of the key person who is going to highlight on the industry academy and what exactly the impact of AI in the education field. I'm sure we are going to learn from him. We have a senior motivator who is basically a maverick trainer. His name is Mr. Arnab Boral. He has a wonderful background in premier IT companies like Infosys and some great other organization. Apart from that, he is also a celebrated motivator, a corporate trainer. So Mr. Arnab is here today. So he is going to definitely share his information, and we are going to listen his information and knowledge. We have Mr. Chris. Mr. Chris is actually here from Kenya, Mr. Christopher Otera, who actually has a very good background in human resource, and he has been with organizations like Orange Telecom. Apart from that, he has worked with several fintech and other startup organizations. So today he is also here to share his insights with us today. Hi, Mr. Chris. Okay. We have Ms. Mohana with us. She's a legal enthusiast. She is going to share some of her knowledge, what exactly would be the impact of AI. So we'll also learn from her. And apart from that, we have our audiences, which I can see on the screen, Mr. Dheeraj, Mr. Venus, Mr. Abhinav, Mr. Suresh. If you can all open your screen so that we can say hi to you once, and then we can gradually get into the topic. I would request our viewers, once if you can just turn on your videos and you can say hi to us. Hi, Suresh.
Hi. Hi, I'm Anand.
Hi, Dheeraj. So it's really a pleasure to get you all in our webinar today, and I'm sure like you would enjoy. So stay tuned and listen to us what exactly we are going to. And of course, you are free to ask questions when we'll be having our Q&A session. Hi, Mr. Leonard. So definitely it's going to be a very interesting and a power-packed session today. So without wasting much time, let's get into the topic. And hi, Funny. I can see if you...
Hi.
Your name,
Hi.
you're Funny, right? What's your name, please?
I'm Funny. Funny
Okay,
Kumar.
all right, great. So without wasting much time, we know that this is a very time-appropriate topic, something which we all want to know, and we know, in fact, but how correct it is. So that's why we have our experts today who are going to share their information. And I would request the experts, whenever they will come, they would be definitely shedding more light into the topic, and we would be definitely getting more understanding of to this topic. So we all know the topic today which we have given is how AI is going to impact our lives. Or we can say that life with AI is an opportunity or a threat. So there is no getting away of this fact that AI is the present and it is the future. So it's a time for us to face this reality that we are already on a threshold when we have to say yes to this new technology. Are we ready for this advancement? Are we into this thing? How exactly we are going to accept this new technology? That is all about this topic today, and that is how we have to prepare ourselves. Is it just a threat or it is an opportunity? Because many a times when we have a limitation of concept, we have limitation of opportunity. At the same time, I remember that when we were small child, we were always being fascinated by the thought that will there be a machine which will ever start thinking on its own? Or will there be something which will ever start working on its own? And perhaps that is how the dream of AI has come in reality today. My friends, AI is something not which is new. I'm sure our guest speakers will be highlighting it more and more today, and they'll be telling us that how exactly it is going to be interesting. The year goes back in 1950s and early 50s when exactly somebody was trying to figure out about the intelligence, about how we can replicate human intelligence or human logic. And that was the time when Alan Turing was perhaps trying to ask in his thesis that how exactly machines can think. Way back in the 50s, this is a thought which was exactly being thought by some of our, the great scientists and the experts. And gradually, we have seen that later on, when Mr. McCarthy, who basically came up with the first programming of AI, and then we have seen that how exactly it can impact us. The question is not what exactly AI can do, but the question is very much to the human beings that whether it is a threat or an opportunity. We are really ready to embark the new thing. We are ready to embark the new technology, but the question lies in our mind that how exactly this AI is going to change our life. Even if we accept or no, but AI touches everybody's life every day. Every day when you open your eyes, AI is in your life. So silently it has entered in your life before even if you have realized that how AI has started capturing your footprints. Every single thing you do, whether it is a Netflix prompt which you get, or whether it is a Google search, or whether you are responding to Siri, Google, or your Cortana, it is basically everywhere AI. So AI is everywhere, my friend, whether you use your handheld device, whether you use your search, or whether you are in your handheld taxi, because in many other developed countries, people have already got automated driverless cabs. So these are all nothing but AI. So we'll learn about today what exactly this technology is all about, what is weak AI, what is strong AI, what is deep learning, and all these things we are going to learn from our experts. So I would really not sublime or dilute the interest without making more of story. I would straight away come to the topic. I would request Mr. Arnab to start with this topic and set the background as usual with his powerful speech and his unique style. And let's see how exactly we are going to make this topic more and more interesting. Mr. Arnab. Mr. Arnab, you are on mute. You are still on mute.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm sorry. Is it audible now?
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. I'm so sorry I had put it on mute just because I was coughing. I had put it on mute. I'm so sorry.
All right.
So thank you, Premankur, for the amazing introduction, and thank you for my introduction as well. I didn't know I was so great, but thank you very much.
You are.
A quick thing. Thank you. What I would start with is AI. We call it now. Please note, AI is what we have termed it now. I would want to go back to 3 days back, which was Vishwakarma Puja. In Bengal, there was a puja. There was a celebration, which is the prayer of God called Vishwakarma. Now, I'm not sure how many of you actually know Vishwakarma, but Vishwakarma basically is the god of industries and business. Interestingly, Vishwakarma and there was another goddess called who was also called a magician, Maya. These two were technically the first ever god, people, devil alike. These two were the first who ever tried using automation. Please understand automation. What exactly did they mean by automation then? They meant things that can be done on their own. Just like there was one point of time where a wheel to move, you would need someone to push. Forget wheel. There was one point of time you had to walk. You didn't have wheels. So somebody came up with wheels and somebody had to push. Eventually they thought, okay, I can make the horse pull it. So that was intelligence being put in place, right? So artificial intelligence is just another name for it. It is another phase of development of how intelligence is being put into place. That's all. It will not eat up your jobs. It will ease out, creases in your job place. I think that's probably the best thing I would say as an introduction. Even Mr. Narayan Murthy, the most respected, founder of Infosys Technologies, also particularly mentioned that AI is here not to take jobs, but to make jobs easier. So if I am actually trying to, I'm trying to train or I'm trying to develop a software, AI can give me suggestions of how to do it better. AI can give me advices on what topics I should probably involve in it. AI could make a presentation for me. I didn't have time. In fact, I was actually training at a hospital today, most of the day, and I rushed back in to just attend this webinar. Now, I didn't have to go to AI, thankfully, because I know what I'm talking about. But then, if you wanted to, you could have done. That is AI. Back to you, Prem.
Thank you so much, Mr. Arnab, for giving this information and sharing this nice resemblance of mythology and science. Of course, for many of our friends who are coming from the other parts of India, they are not aware of this, but I can give you one resemblance of this particular machine which Mr. Arnab has said. If you really go back in Google or go back in the history, you will see that there is a machine which also has been developed by the great Renaissance artist Mr. Leonardo da Vinci, and that was known as automata. And that machine could run on its own. It is exactly not known when exactly, whether it is the 14th or the 15th century when it was developed, but it has been recorded that this wheel cart can move on its own. With his wonderful intellect of his art, his philosophy and science, he made a machine, just imagine, in 14th and 15th century, which can move automatically. So automata. So that was the name of that machine. And always human being, yeah, please. You are again on mute, I think. Yeah.
That's exactly the point, Premankur. That intelligence, artificial intelligence that we talk about today is basically a duplicator. So I am giving him a thought to think about and generate something based on thoughts, collected thoughts of other people that I have fed into it.
True.
So it's not thinking on its own.
Exactly.
I have fed things into it and it's developing things based on 20,000 people's interest, 20,000 people's input. Exactly. So it is basically when I'm devising a product or a way of training, let's say, I'm just saying, keeping it simple. When I am trying to devise a way of training, that this is how I'm going to train these people, because these people don't understand the way I train, which is very formal. So what I'm going to do, I am going to be using games or activities, right? Now, On the other hand, there would be a different phase of people who don't even relate to that. For example, if I go out to a village in the middle of a forest, so they don't understand, involvement games. So, or games from which you learn. So, what I have to do is I have to understand the way they run, and I have to propose something or I have to involve something where they can learn from it. So it's basically a development based on what I get, right? So that is basically artificial intelligence. It has nothing to do with being
Absolutely.
scared.
I will quickly go back. Yes, I will come back to you, sir. I will go to Mr. Venkat. Mr. Venkat is basically an IT professional. So, Mr. Venkat, if you are there, who basically has been handling AI in different forms. So I would really request Mr. Venkat if he can come online and he can just share his views on this topic. What is his viewpoint as a technology man on this impact of AI? How exactly you see this AI? Mr. Venkat. I think Mr. Venkat. Okay. So we can go quickly to Mr. Sanjit. Mr. Sanjit, if you can just shed some light on that till the time we get Mr. Venkat, maybe next time. Yeah.
Yeah. So greetings to all. So once again, we are back with another interesting topic, that is AI, and there is a very talked about. This is the most talked about term nowadays, that we are hearing AI, and AI everywhere. So basically, as Mr. Premankudas already said, that the term AI was coined by uh, uh, a software engineer or computer expert, that is John McCarthy. So he is also called the father of AI. And later on, it has been developed over the years, over the decades. But right now, we are having too much of noise about this particular technology, and it is also nothing but a technology. And we have been having a lot of technologies over the years, over the ages. But why we are talking about particular this technology in a too much of way? If we think about some technologies that what we have been using to ease our life, to make our life better, and to make our life easier. When computer came, so there was a big uproar. There was a big hue and cry that so many jobs will be redundant, so many jobs will be taken away. But contrary, what happened? We generated a lot of jobs. Okay. So similarly, when AI has come, we are thinking, or we are in a fear that so many jobs will be taken away by this particular technology. So already we are seeing that that there is a driverless car, or there is some, in some places also AI have been used in so many big way, like pharmaceuticals or healthcare. So there is a AI doctor, that to diagnose the disease, to diagnose the patient. So then also we have in so many places AI are being used, particularly in corporate sector. So in my point of view,
not just in corporate, Mr. Sanjit, not just in corporate, it's being used in generic places as well.
Yes, in every place as we see this particular use of AI. So what is AI basically? AI is nothing but that when a computer or a machine does certain tasks which are basically done by human being. So if we make some machine,
I would prefer if you add the word supposedly to be done by human beings, because that is what matters.
Exactly. Yes, absolutely. So and then we have been using it over the years. And if I talk about my field, that what field I have been, like education. So in the field of education, artificial intelligence is used tremendously. There is a big scope of that AI can be used. So if I talk about my experience of how I use AI that is, in my formative years when I was trying to become a public speaker or how to speak, in front of people. So I did not have any coach, or I did not have anyone who can really guide me, who can really, teach me, or who can really see my performance. So then what I did, I took the help of AI. There was a app called Orai. uh, I think you might have known that, Orai is a very powerful or very effective apps where you can judge your speaking, that how you are speaking, your level of confidence, how you are, your rate of speech, and your filler words, how many filler words you are using. So that was done by that, particular platform, that which by using AI technology.
Perfect, sir.
So okay,
I would request
so
you to keep it short, sir,
yeah,
so that we
so
go
that
to
is the
the next
fact.
speaker.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just I'll take another 1 minute. So that, no, that is what is my perception about AI. So AI is here to help us, to guide, to give us more comfort, to make our life easier. So there is nothing to fear about. But again, there are certain things that are happening. Just few days back, I was watching a movie, not movie, a particular video. There, the Sophia, the fast, you can say, AI generated, what should I say, robot. And the founder of that company asked that robot, that Sophia, that uh, what is your plan for humanity, what is your plan for humanity. And the reply was, I am going to destroy humanity. Okay. So there are certain things are there, that, there is some debates, there are some things are there. Okay.
That's an imagination. That's all.
Okay, so
Let's
that is
let's
my,
let's
yeah.
let's let's go to some technology expert. And of course, what we understand, you were saying that AI is helpful. We'll also come back to you when we'll ask you that, as you see that you are a teacher, maybe in near future the AI is going to replace even you, or as a public speaker, the AI is going to work as a public speaker.
Not possible.
So we'll come
That's where
back
I
to
would
that.
say not possible,
We'll
Priyanka.
come back to that. We'll come back to
Please.
that, so that we
Sure,
also
sure,
have more
sure,
questions. We'll take up more questions. I
sure,
will come
sure,
back to Mr. Venkat.
sure.
Mr. Venkat, if you could introduce yourself, and you can also take us a little bit to this technology field, as you are an IT expert. Mr. Venkat.
Yeah, sure, Pramankar. Are you able to hear me now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
great,
loud and clear.
great. Yeah. So, I will start with an example of ATM missions. When ATM missions has come, every one of us thought that, there won't be any bank tellers. Though, the number of people reduced, but still, tellers are needed for non-automated
Absolutely.
jobs. But I will directly go to a kind of technology side. In my childhood, around in 99, 96, I have learned artificial intelligence as well as machine learning at the time itself. So it's AI or ML are not new, and the predominant algorithms right now we are using in AI and ML field, they are linear regression and logistic regression. These two are there since ages. For example, when we manage the kind of airlines or airline reservations, all these algorithms we are keep on using. It's not new thing, but only thing is it is evolved a lot right now. And lot of algorithms are actually reinvented, or we got additional
Modified,
features modified, I can
modified,
say, or
yeah.
the use
And
has
I would
become
say
more.
probably,
And
probably the best term would be they have been renamed to AI, and which is
correct,
scaring us unnecessarily.
correct.
Like I
And
was saying, for example, there was a point of time when we were talking about customer behavior understanding, right? There used
right,
to be people who used to walk up to people and say, "Sir, did you like this?" And the customer would respond, "I liked your behavior, but I don't like that stuff."
yes,
But
yes,
now this is being done by by a computer, where the customer is putting in information and people are thinking, "I lost my job." But the same gentleman who was doing the "Do you like my job, please?" is probably enabling that computer. So his job is not lost.
maybe like no, it
Does that
will
make
go
sense?
in a new form. I'm coming there. And
Exactly. Exactly.
Please go ahead, Mr. Venkat.
yeah, the most complex algorithms like okay, nearest neighbor or random forest, these are not at used at all. Like no, they are like no, they are there, but like no, they are not really like no that much predominantly used in like no any of the programs right now. And when it comes to pros and cons, right now, like no earlier, like no when computers has come, Excel was there, and later like no we got various reporting tools, but like no still like a lot of people still using the Excel. So likewise now the new term like no people need to learn how we can use the AI, that is actually called as right now it's prompt engineering. And that is like no one thing like no the jobs will be there, but we need to learn how to use the new technologies and like no how to induct all these new technologies and how we need to work along with them.
Perfect. So I just come to a summary from what we understand from Mr. Venkat and as well as Mr. Arnab and Sanjit, that artificial intelligence is definitely not going to replace the human beings, but it is going a chance to understand us that how exactly we can develop more productive things and how we can invest ourselves or for some more creative things which perhaps we have not been able to doing for some stereotype work. And now the artificial intelligence is going to open up new horizons, but we have to at the same time improve our cognitive skills, which are really more important for some higher level work and higher level thinking. So that is something
And
which
So,
yeah.
yeah, I want to
so
add
let's say, for
one thing. Right now, like no, we need data to either artificial intelligence or machine learning to work. And as long as data is not there, like no, artificial intelligence and machine learning
see,
won't
this
work.
is exactly
And
where I was coming to.
and
This
every
is
way,
exactly
like
where I was
every time like when we need to make it work, because for example if you see Google search, like no there may be like a lot of history, but like no every day people will search new terms or like no new things.
new
So
stuff,
all the new
new
things need
trends.
to go to AI. It's not possible. Even if you see chat GPT, they have like no they can give the results up to 2021, but what about 2022 and 2023? Humans are needed, and
Absolutely.
like they will be there. Human help is always needed.
No,
Thank you.
I
That's the
just
point I was
I
coming
would
to.
just like to
That
go
is exactly the point I was coming to.
right.
That is exactly the point I was coming to. Because, see, understand this. AI basically talks basically about what you have fed it.
Absolutely.
I have been fed grass, so I can go to the when I go to the toilet, it will come out as dung.
That's what you call as a gigo. Garbage in, garbage out.
Garbage in, garbage out. But when I have, even when I have information in, I will modify that information and give it to
Absolutely.
you. Another
Absolutely.
thing is, what information have you given it? That
Right.
is what AI is about. Now, my
Right.
point is here, AI is controllable. Now, the thing is, why should I be scared if it is my prerogative, what information I give to him?
We'll come to
For
that. We have a
example,
question for you. We'll come to that. We'll come to that
sure,
because we have
sure, sure.
information already that AI can really write its own code. And a time we can foresee when the AI
AI
will
can really
write
write
its
its
own.
own code because that has been written already. AI
Exactly.
cannot write its real own code. AI is replicating somebody else's writing by writing your codes for you.
Yeah,
Please
but
note,
then there
AI
can
is
be
not
a
writing its own
chance
code.
that somebody, maybe from a human side only, a mistake can happen that we might give too much of power to the AI, and it may happen that
You can't. You
it
can't
can happen.
because it can. You
We'll come
cannot
to you.
give power.
We'll come to you. We'll come to
Okay.
you. We go
Okay.
quickly to
I
Okay.
will
Chris.
Go on.
answer that like no, when it come to me. I will
Yeah.
answer that quote
Okay.
by yeah.
Okay. We'll come to you. We'll quickly go to Mr. Christopher, who has not yet spoken. Mr. Christopher, if you can please shed some light from your perspective.
Thank you so much, and good evening, good morning, wherever you're connected from. I can hear it loud and clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes,
Can
you
you
are
hear me?
clear.
Please go ahead.
Beautiful. Well,
Yes.
Mr. Das, Anab, Sanjit, Venkata, you've done a very good introduction in terms of massacring what this issue is all about. But allow me to mention allow me to dwell a little bit on the source of AI. And Mr. Das, you mentioned that it's actually GIGO, which is garbage in, garbage out. So it's about the data that we input into the system that is able to give us the result, what we are able to see on the front face. But what I've come to learn, I will talk from the HR point of view, because I'm a HR expert, not an IT expert. But also you mentioned about HR, AI having an impact when it comes to job losses. But there's a research which was done by the World Economic Forum, which said that yes, there shall be possible sources as possible redundancy by 2030, whereby we are going to lose about 85 million people from the job market. But also, it's going to create another 97 million new jobs in the field ranging from big data, machine learning, to information security, digital marketing, et al. Right now, you've seen so many people are actually being able to market and sell their products through such platform. That is where the future of AI is. And in HR, yes, we are sure that there are some roles which are going to fade off. That much we cannot deny, that there are some roles which are going to fade off. It's a reality. I'll give an example. I've worked for the telecommunication sector. And at one point, we were moving from the copper platform, we are going to the fiber platform. The people who had the knowledge and skills about the copper platform had to be declared redundant, and or they had to upskill or reskill to be able to become relevant when they come to the fiber aspect of technology. I'll also mention that I've heard whether there are limitations, but I'm sure we're going to discuss in depth. But yes, I think there could be some level of limitation when it comes to AI. From the HR point of view, even when you're doing screening of the people, AI cannot be able to tell us how emotional is Mr. Venkata.
Absolutely.
We are able to measure your emotional intelligence. We are unable to measure your ethics. We are unable to measure what we call the common sense when you talk about adaptability and such kind of things. So there could be some level of limitation when it comes to AI that will need to be addressed as we move forward. Finally, let me say that finally, I'll mention about issues of lack of awareness and intuition. Intuition, basically, that we're talking about, is AI able to translate our insight or our perceptions into reality? Those are some of the areas that we are yet to reach into an agreement. But yes, AI has a future in HR, and there are a lot of things that AI is currently doing in HR, from recruitment to people management to performance management, and even to matters to do with culture which are unseen. Thank you very much, and over to you, Mr. Das.
Thank you so much, Mr. Christopher. And we really agree with whatever you said, that human beings are still unique, and that is why our interventions are required when we have to make the quick decision with our emotional intelligence in terms of making selection and in terms of understanding the profile, and the profile fitment are something which still human beings have to do and not AI. So I really would like to rotate the discussion and make it more even. I would basically come to Mohana. Mohana, I would just like to know from you that what exactly you think are the legal aspects, and with the intervention of artificial intelligence, what are the challenges you think are going to come, or which is already there in the market? I can just give you an example. For example, now we have got the driverless cars, where we can find that there are cars which can move without a driver. But if there is an accident caused by those cars, who actually is liable for that? So such kind of issues are coming. Or maybe there are some complications which can come when exactly people are harming without their unconscious with artificial intelligence, like so many people are going to be jobless. So what exactly are you thinking from the legal perspective? Mohana.
Well, yes, a very warm greeting to everybody here. So, technology has infiltrated every facet of our lives, including the legal realm, our business perspectives, and anything in between or beyond. But we should always keep in mind that we know that AI or technology has helped us in different ways. It has given us solutions in every aspect. Like these days, we can get judgments also by just typing it on ChatGPT. In a very crisp manner, we are even able to get that. But then again, what we need to keep in mind that it lacks morality. What AI lacks is morality, and that is how it stands unique from a man or a woman who is able to think rationally, right? So there are different advantages and disadvantages in legal realm also, which I'm going to discuss further. So yeah, I still believe that human and people are unique in case of giving judgments or making judgments in court, as well as keeping their arguments before the court. So yeah, that's it.
I just want to ask you a question. Are you aware that there are driverless cars, and if that car causes an accident, so who do you think is liable? In fact, it is still not clear because we know that there
Yes,
are legal
yes,
challenges. So how exactly the legal systems are prepared for that?
yes. In this case, we have the Motor Vehicle Act, and we also have the different acts meant for different parts of this kind. If it is a tort, that is a civil wrong, there what we do is there is a concept called vicarious liability. Now, vicarious liability is something which is very closely related with this thing. What vicarious liability says is if a driver or whosoever goes against some legal rule or does any kind of civil wrong or criminal wrong, their master or their employer stands responsible for that. And that is even like true for this AI thing, this machine thing which you are referring to.
So it's a
And
servant master thing that you're implementing.
Exactly.
yes, it can be a servant master thing, it can be employer employee thing, it
But
can be
AI
partner.
is not exactly servant master because AI does things on its own. How can you implement the servant master thing?
Yes, but then again, AI is not human and it is meant
Agreed.
to.
But AI makes its own decisions. So whether to stop exactly at that point or go further beyond and stop was its own decision, not mine.
Actually,
Yes, but
that's a
here,
question. But what I asked her that suppose if a car run over, which is basically a driverless cab, run over a passerby,
Agreed.
who stands
Agreed.
liable?
That's what I was
Who
asking.
stands liable? That is what she's trying to say.
somebody
Perfect.
was there to
Now my
instruct.
question was a little beyond it.
Okay.
Yes, somebody was there
Yes, please.
to instruct the AI, right? AI is not working on its own or it is not programmed on its own. There was somebody behind
There is
this.
where I'm coming to. That
There
is
is
what I was
somebody,
asking.
like, there
Correct.
is a
Absolutely.
mastermind who is behind this, and that person is liable, of course. And that is again a master servant relationship.
I get you. Chris, you have a
Yeah,
point.
that's it.
Chris, you want to say something?
Yes, maybe to mention, we have what we call the new ways of work or the new things. So, in your question, then I would ask, are there enough legislation that actually addresses the matters to deal with AI? Have our legislators in the various jurisdictions or parliaments passed in legislation? I'll give an example. For example, in Kenya, we've been having issues to do with data protection and the Data Protection Act. Then we had to pass a legislation that is actually able to be anchored. So for now, it is difficult to put a blame. If the car has an accident and the car is a driverless car, if a product has been produced and the product come out with default and it goes to the market and is consumed, and by any eventuality people succumb to death because of the product, maybe the chemical were not mixed as per the directive. How then are we able to mitigate this? So for me, I think that there needs to be new legislations which come in to be able to mitigate or to control the AI space. Thank you.
I would quickly go to Venus. Venus has something to ask a question or want to make a point. Yes, Venus?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Actually, Mohana is right for the perpetual what the things are happening currently. But CMVR, the Central Motor Vehicle Rules Act, is still considering lot many possibilities on technical side when the AI is taking the certain decision or the faults arises due to AI or due to certain circumstances which you are not considered before and malfunction happened. So this will not be considered as a deliberate accident, but a malfunction of the certain things, whether it is the AI or whether it is the any technical fault. Because even the AI has the limited scenarios to consider because the decision what it takes is based on certain scenarios only.
Yeah, I will quickly come to you, sir. Michael has a point in the same situation. I think he wants to counter or say something? Michael, if you can just come also.
Hi there. My apologies. I'm currently in my traditional outfits here in South
That's
Africa.
okay.
We've
That's
got Heritage Weekend. Just to address what is being mentioned here, as I see it, just having done legal practice myself, in South Africa specifically, we've got no laws at the moment that are regulating if party A is driving it's in a driverless car and that car is in an accident. This is a scenario that would play out where, okay, now we know who would be liable, who wouldn't be. Currently, it's a case-by-case scenario, and I'm sure it's like that mostly across the world. In the first instance, secondly, we'll just have to look at. We as people need to promulgate that legislation as quickly as possible. Same with the Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies. It was very unregulated for a long time. Many people were making a lot of money and abusing the system. Now, globally, there's, for the most part, most countries have established regulations that now protect whoever the governments wish to protect. Whichever laws are instated will protect whoever it intends to protect. So that's the same will happen with AI. How quick humans will be, we don't know. Hopefully, we'll be quick enough to keep up with it.
Thank you so much for your legal insight, Michael. So I just quickly go back to Mr. Arnab. Mr. Arnab, back to you. You wanted to say something.
I was actually agreeing with what Mike was saying. And here's the thing. When I have an accident, when my driver, airless driver, AI driver, crashes my car, who am I going to blame? Forget the person who died. Who am I going to blame? That's my question. Who am I going to blame? Now, the thing is, the responsibility lies with the owner, right? Now, if the responsibility lies with the owner, absolutely the same way AI is and will always be governed by the people owning it. For example, the example that I gave in the beginning, I will bring that back once again. So there was a point of time where people thought that moving from one place to another was walking or running. And then they made bicycles. So that's fine. This is just another development where it will make certain regular repetitive tasks easier. Great. So does that mean to say that the people who do those regulative tasks lose their jobs? No. What they will do is they will eventually become the overseers of it. And that's important because they are actually getting a raise up. So it has nothing.
That is what we agree from you. We agree from you, Mr. Arnab. We will quickly go back to Mr. Venkat, where he made a point that I want to answer. But Mr. Venkat, before we go to you, I want to also make a point here. What Mr. Arnab has rightly said, it is basically solely the responsibility of the owner who owns the AI. So let me know, what exactly do you think when it is about the daily usage of AI in our life, and if it is in terms in our workplace or maybe in other ways of experiencing in our society, what do you think the capabilities of AI? Does it really influences us, or we are really having no control on the AI? If it's basically in terms of our lifestyle, it could be even capturing our footprints, or it can be the future, the transformation of this technology, like we have seen what has happened in terms of ChatGPT. Yes, Mr. Venkat.
Yeah, sure. Before that, I will answer AI generated code first. That one, you mentioned earlier.
Please.
First thing is there are three types of languages available for the coding. One is low level language, second one is high level language, third one is machine language. So to make programmers' life easy, the high level languages are invented. And in the high level languages, earlier also we have functions. Whenever we call some function, automatically what will happen is that code was written by someone else. Right now AI is writing, but earlier also these functions are heavily used and the code was someone else written, and we are reusing it. So obviously, likewise, whatever AI,
but that also is guided by the mind of somebody else who has written the earlier code. Isn't that?
Right. So likewise, even the second thing is code generation engines are not new. They were there earlier also. Like, that is like semi-automated, I can say. But AI has little bit new powers. But at the same time, whatever AI generates with respect to the code, that is a repetitiveness. Whenever someone else has generated code, that code it will bring here and it will generate and give it to you in the form of functions. But if you need to use new brain, obviously a human need to be there, and that human need to code. And secondly, when coming to your question, if we see right now, Chat GPT is under lot of losses. It's not a profit making company. So what is happening is the cost of AI or making sure that AI works perfectly, it is huge. So many small companies or startups, they cannot really use AI to that extent how Microsoft or Google are using. So there is a possibility of rich people become more richer, and poor people may become or they stagnate there. That is a little bit of risk. But otherwise, always there will be new startups, new students, and they may not be able to utilize the AI that much because of the cost. Right now, ChatGPT is charging $20, but they cannot survive if they continue to charge $20 only. So obviously they need to increase the price, and then the ChatGPT or any AI tools they will become expensive.
All right. So, sir, with that, I get a question here. Does it also indicate that it is going to create some social discrimination, which is very clear from your point? And at the same time, I understand that this fourth industrial revolution, which we are talking with this AI, where people will be forced to learn new skills and maybe the paradigms they have to move. So, how exactly
paradigms will change? Correct.
Maybe socially we are equipped for that. How geographically, socially we are empowered for that. Maybe what we are finding is kind of just a tip of the iceberg. Yes, anyone can come on that topic.
Yeah, there may be a chance of monopoly. Right now, if you see in the search engine, Google has the monopoly. Even for videos, YouTube has the monopoly. So there is a chance that maybe top 10 companies will benefit. But that doesn't really affect ordinary people's life. That's what I can say.
Okay. So right now, if I see from the Western perspective, few companies only like Apple, then Amazon, then Google and Microsoft, they are the leaders who are basically making move most of the time with AI. But what about the startups and how exactly it is influencing that? Means what do you think? How exactly is going to help people, or how exactly it's going to flow down the layer?
Yeah, so Google, Amazon, and other big companies, top 10 companies, even without AI also they are doing monopoly.
Yeah.
With AI, I think their monopoliness may increase 10%, but still now a lot of startups they came and they shown their presence. For example, earlier Yahoo was very good search engine. But when Google has come as a startup. But now it changed and it has become the number one. Likewise, earlier Microsoft was number one in various aspects. But now other companies are coming. So always whenever there is a good idea and a good human brain, startups will succeed.
All right. I quickly go to Mr. Sanjit. Mr. Sanjit has a point. Yeah. You're on mute, sir.
Yeah. Thank you so much for giving me this chance again. So I have a question to Mr. Venkatar, as he is an IT expert and he is having a lot of experience and knowledge in the industry. So my question is that, is there any threat from any robot that they can replicate themselves and they can kind of clone themselves, and that can put a threat into human existence? Is there any kind of
like we have seen in the Terminator and other cyborg movies?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right now it is in movies, but as of now, either AI or machine learning, they are working on the data only. So where there is no data, there is no possibility, but we never know, there may be new inventions at later point of time. But like, if
So
you see current
basically,
scenario, it's
unless
not
there
possible.
are right, so unless there are actual scenarios happening in human world that cannot be replicated. Is that what you're saying?
Mr. Venkat.
Venkat, Mr.
Yes,
Venkat.
yes, yeah, correct.
So unless there is something happening exclusively in the human world that cannot be replicated, right?
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Because see, like no, right now, the entire intelligence is based on data only. If there is no
Understood.
data, no intelligence.
Understood. So let's say, for example, today, what I did till now, what we as humans have done till now, were basically based on stuff like Johnny Soko and the flying robot. So we had Johnny Soko who made his flying robot fly and go wherever he wanted. Now, what you have done is you have implemented AI to say, okay, this can be done because we can fly aeroplanes. What we will do is we will try and fly a guy like this. But if somebody said that, okay, Johnny Soko, instead of flying his your robot, will want to, let's say, I don't know, maybe jump from the sky and uh, without a parachute and not die, that has not been done. So that you cannot do. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
So it is more about what exactly has been implemented. Yeah, it is more about what he's trying to say, what has been implemented and what has, as of now, which is available. We can always, on the basis of that, we can have a contextual discussion. But we cannot really work on something which is hypothetical at this point of time, maybe. That is what.
No, I'm not saying hypothetical. I'm just saying I was just looking at options. That because you're saying that AI is a threat, so basically AI is not a threat at all.
Correct.
That's
Maybe,
what I was
maybe
trying to.
I will give you with one algorithmic example. For example, like no, I can say 25% of the AI missions are working on the logistic regression algorithms. These algorithms, what it will do is it is based on the previous data and it is purely based on
Logistics is repetitive. Logistics is repetitive.
Right, yeah, based on yes or no. So what will happen is, like, for example, for a question, if we know answer is yes or no, then it will replicate. But when there is a question which is never answered, this AI cannot do anything. So they need data.
That gives me an idea from my HR field. I can share one knowledge with Mr. Christopher can also share. Like, for example, if a candidate will leave the job after 3 months or no, that AI cannot answer. Looking at the CV, AI cannot really detect. That is again the human intelligence, which we have to feed the AI telling that you see the trend of that candidate. What do you say, Mr. Christopher, on that?
Absolutely. As in AI has some parameters when it comes to, let's say, aspect of recruitment. So AI can actually assist you in terms of shortlisting. Probably you have a lot of CVs. So then you can set in the parameters that, look, do you have 5 years of experience? Yes. Do you have a minimum of a degree? Yes. So you can set up the parameters when the candidate is applying for the job. So what AI will help you is to just to have a broader view of whom are you going to longlist and even be able to rate for you. And also it can help you through what we call the ATS, the applicant tracking system, so that it can be able to manage for you an end-to-end recruitment services. But can AI make for you the intervention or the decision of whom to hire? No, AI cannot be able to make that decision.
Please don't even talk to me about ATS because I have had bad experiences with ATS. Because I personally will tell you, I have always, because I've been an outsider, always, most of the time. And ATS is basically a very generic tool which says that this person's profile looks like this. And it is absolute.
It go by the keyword. It go by the keyword. So unfortunately, if a person is not aware how he should make his CV look like or arrange.
Exactly. Forget that. My point is the opposite. That the the agent or the person who's trying to create his profile has to create his profile as per
Exactly.
the
As per the
as per the
yes.
liking of the
Exactly.
agency. Why would I do that?
Absolutely.
My format of my CV is classic, and
Yeah.
that classicness is what I want the hirer to know. Rather
Now,
than that,
I
the
just want to add on
the
here one
tool
point.
the
I get
tool
you.
is expecting a regular one,
Absolutely. So now the point
and
is
I don't have a
how
regular
you
one.
become unique. You are no more unique. You join the rat race. You
You
join
are
the
not unique. You are everybody eat.
everybody. Yeah,
You are everybody eat.
exactly. Exactly. That's what. So I just want to ask here, maybe I can quickly go back to Mr. Sanjit, where exactly you feel that you have a question, because I am sure like you handle a lot of career enthusiasts and a lot of young people come to you. What do you think are their questions? Maybe as a representative for
I
them.
am coming because I have had youngsters asking me this.
Okay.
That
So can you
should
give
I
some of the
be
questions?
sticking to that or should I
We'll
create my
we'll
own?
now work on. I know this is a very tempting topic, and I'm also sure the audiences who are connected with us, they also have the questions in their mind. What we should do to sustain ourselves in this AI race? What we should do to stay abreast? What we should do to stay alive and not get out of dated in the market or obsolete in the market? So maybe I will quickly come for every expert, and I would request if you can give two tips which will be takeaway for our audience today. So maybe Mr. Sanjit.
Yeah, again, thank you so much. So now my suggestion would be to keep learning new things. So this is the only thing I can tell to the youngster. So if you really want to keep yourself valued in the market, job market, so learn new things, keep on learning, and whatever is coming in the market, which is your area of job. So there you keep on learning that particular aspect. So
Perfect.
only learning new things can save oneself. Otherwise, he will be outdated and he will be completely thrown away from the marketplace or the
I
job
agree.
place.
I agree.
So that is the only one thing I want to share from my experience. So
Thank you, sir.
learn new things. Thank you.
I will come back to Mohana. Mohana, what exactly you think are really required? Means what are the risk coverage? Means you are basically a legal person. So I would like to know that how one can cover legally when exactly we are handling with AI particularly. Maybe the people who are going to utilize AI, if you can just highlight something on that.
Yes, so basically, as I already said, that there are advantages as well as disadvantages. So, speaking of the disadvantages, there are many. Like in case of the legal judgments, which I just said, it might often occur that somebody generated judgment or just an argument based on the AI tools, let's just say ChatGPT, and they present it before the court, and somehow they just win. And it might sometime happen that these people get the wrong judgment, and the person who was actually behind all these things do not get the punishment or whatsoever it is. And for those, we have our Information Technology Act 2000, where we have certain areas which covers people from these harms which can be caused by AI tools, which can be caused by technology rather. We have the Indian Contract Act. Like we all must have seen that while we make our accounts on PhonePay or maybe in any UPI apps, then we need to just give our consent to certain rules and regulations. That is particularly a contract. So that again falls under the Indian Contract Act 1872, which is an act which was created really long before. But then again, it has relevance in today's society also. It has got certain amendments in between, true. But then again, we have different acts which actually saves people from these things. We have intellectual property laws, and there are many more which can cover people very easily. So we always should keep in mind that there are ways to come out of all these things, and what one needs to be aware of is the different remedies which are already available, and should approach. They should definitely approach the court. They should not back away from this.
I have a question for you. Like a common man, a layman, he
Yes.
doesn't know that if I'm wronged by AI, where to go or how to really keep myself updated. Because there are a lot of friends, a lot of enthusiasts who are connected right now. If they may get somehow being facing fraudulent service, or they are basically being trapped, or they have a misuse of AI in their life. So what exactly to do?
Yes.
How to update themselves? If you can say something on
Here also AI only will help us. Yes, basically we have different online medium where we can file cases. We have e-filing, which makes things very easy, and people can easily file their cases, and they can expect a faster judgment, a faster court trial, rather than doing it manually. This mainly evolved after this 2020 pandemic and this corona thing, and it made our life really more useful. So it is like AI against AI. AI is only helping us to get rid of these things which are already there, and
Slowness. So AI is helping you get rid of slowness.
Yeah, that's true.
yes, yes, truly.
That
And
I would
people are even
definitely
like
agree.
able to connect to lawyers who are staying out, maybe to global lawyers who can consult, give consultation to them and can help them get rid of this. But one thing which people should do is they should approach and should not get feared from the law and justice.
Exactly.
There are certain times when people get feared, and they are so much afraid that they just do not
Not approach.
want to approach, because they think that it is a cumbersome process. But AI only made it really very easy. There are e-filings these days. They can file their cases and can get a judgment really easily.
I will quickly, Rika, thank you so much, Mohan. I will quickly go to our audiences who are present right now. So if you can come with your Q&A, you can basically come with your questions, and our experts are there to answer you. Please, you can just come with your questions. Anyone can come. Yes, Chris has a point. Yeah, Chris, please.
Yeah, maybe as our audience are writing their questions, how to keep yourself abreast. Of course, it's you need to upskill, reskill, and keep on revisiting your skills over and over. Then there's what we call careful choice of roles or career that will not be obsolete very soon. Ideally, most of the roles are going to become obsolete, but then the issue is that the benefit of doubt is going to be placed on the person who is controlling the AI. For example, the issue about the driver. So the vehicle will not run by itself, but then there's a person who's going to be accountable somewhere who is actually controlling the vehicle. Then there's a matter about embracing change. Change is always happening. I think, as Mohan has said, ever since COVID, it's AI against AI. So change will also happen even in the current change that we have. Finally, apprise yourself with the contemporary changes within your industry. All of us have our own industry. We have lawyers, we have IT, we have engineers, and there'll always be changes that are happening within our industry. Thank you.
Mr. Arnab, with your last minute, maybe some tips which you would like to give the audience? What one should do?
The first thing is leave aside the thought that they are going to take my job. That's the first thing. The second thing is do what you're doing exactly the way that you think that you're doing. And the third thing is make sure that you are not going haywire, as in you're not going out of the system. If you're not going out of the system, AI is basically used to assist them. If you are not going out of the system, AI doesn't have a problem with you.
Absolutely.
Beware of AI that way. That's the first thing, most important. don't get out of the system. If you're getting out of the system, make sure you turn off your AI. That's my point.
Right.
Might sound funny, but that's the truth. Might sound funny, but that's the truth. Because AI runs on regularities. The more you do something, AI will learn that Arnab is a trainer. He goes out and trains, does this. These are the kind of things he does in his training, and these are the kind of things
Capture your
he does
footprint.
when he comes.
They capture your
He's
footprint.
collecting my footprint.
Exactly.
Yes, he's capturing my footprint, and eventually, what he's going to do is when Premalkur says, "Okay, behave like Arnab," he will AI will keep telling you, "Okay, now you have to walk left. Now you have to walk right. Your left foot should go beyond your right foot." That's how Arnab walks. Beat that. So AI is
With this, I
basically
have a question. With this, I have a question. So next time when I'm on the traffic, so should I follow Google Map, Google Traffic, or shouldn't I?
I would suggest you don't. Because I will tell you today's example. I was going to a training session. I had a training session earlier today in a hospital, and I was actually traveling there, and I had taken a cab because I knew that area is traffic infested. Interestingly, no cab agreed to go there. Get that first. The second thing, I took a regular cab, not a mobile applied cab.
Okay.
And this gentleman charged me almost double the fare. Okay. And when I reached there, they actually told me that, "Sir, this particular road for the last 300 meters, this is surprising that I actually came through straight without a stop. This 300 meters is basically, that road is actually filled with factories." So he said this 300 meters usually takes about 1.5 hours to cross, which is why this particular area is blocked by any of the cab apps. So AI or not, they have blocked it already.
Okay.
However, when I was coming back, I ordered an Ola and I came back by that Ola, which came in, which basically asked me where you are. I said, "I'm on this particular road, I'm here." And he came in and picked me up and went. So understand this, that AI is not the final decision.
That means you are trying to say that sometimes we are fooled by this artificial intelligence as well.
Absolutely. Most of the times, not sometimes, most of the times, we accept what we are suggested. Google Maps, for example, today, Google Maps suggests, I would say, I have faced this. Google Map tells me, go exactly da 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 da.
Let's be fair, we all have faced that.
But no, hold on. This is example, live example. I have actually driven there, and the last about 700 meters, he actually had showed me driven way, and it was a wall by wall, hardly 2 meters away, which I had to walk. Now the thing was, what they had done was, they had actually considered my walking distance. They had showed me that way, but because I was driving, they shortened the timing. So artificial intelligence can't even compare whether I'm walking or driving sometimes. That's what I was covering.
Okay, so let's
Does that
quickly
make
go to
sense?
the audience. I would basically request if they have questions. Audience, somebody from audience, if they want to ask any questions, please. Anyone is ready with the question? Okay, let me ask a question on behalf of the audience for you. So we come to a conclusion that AI is no more a threat, it is rather an opportunity. It only depends how we are going to take up this new technology. and it is just going to take us for a new revolution with more and more opportunities, which will definitely create more jobs. Yes, Mr. Chris, you have some points, I think. Please go ahead.
I think I've seen Mr. Jani raising up his hand.
Mr. Jani? Mr.
Yeah,
Jani?
maybe he can.
No, actually, I didn't mean to disturb, but
Please go
I have
ahead.
a couple of points. Yeah, I have a couple of
please.
points. Before you summarize, and at the cost of sounding a bit negative today, particularly about the AI things, my son is already doing his engineering with the AI and all.
Wonderful.
We are having that AI zombie apocalypse. This is the fear everyone is having now.
True.
Having said that, whatever the discussion we are having and whatever the conclusion we are going to make on the positive side, but there is a fear which we have to face and conquer as and when the things arises.
True.
Whether it is a technical side, whether it is a legal side, or whether it's a moral side, because when you are talking about human morals, humans are also manipulative.
Exactly.
So you cannot say that everything will be with AI, everything will be sorted out. Only thing which I understood, that case to case basis, as and when we start facing it, we have to learn it. It's a new revolution. I will take your word.
Can I answer that question?
Please,
can I
please.
answer that question right away? Please understand that one thing, before call centers started, what did you do? If you have bought a product, or wo product ka koi, you have had a problem with that product, what did you do? Please, come on.
You are absolutely right. That was the new scenario where we are calling them and we needed a human interaction.
What did you do?
We called
What did
them.
you do? You know,
When there was no call center. When
there was no call center, so you didn't call.
What did you do?
We go to the place from where we purchased.
You go to the store where you purchased it.
Yes.
Then you move to calling them, right? Did anybody lose their jobs?
Did anyone lose their
Sorry,
job?
I couldn't get you clearly.
He's asking, did anyone lose the
Did
job?
anybody lose their jobs?
No, nobody lose the job.
Instead, somebody got jobs because the call center came in place.
Yes. I fully agree on your point of view. My point is
Similarly, AI will also have this effect.
So let's embrace the change.
साहब ऐसा है, before the banking thing was manually, then computer came and everyone was saying, कि अगर कंप्यूटर आ गया तो बैंक में से सब लोगों को निकाल देंगे.
बिल्कुल.
Similarly,
कोई निकाला गया? कोई नहीं निकाला गया.
Exactly. I agree with you. Y2K, if you remember the scenario of Y2K, year 2000 when it was coming, सबने कहा कि every computer will be thrown out. Okay? But you had to face Y2K, and then whatever the solution came, you have to accept it. So my point is that even if it is a zombie apocalypse of the AI, let me face it. Let me get prepared. As Sanjit ji said कि हाँ थोड़ा learning ज़्यादा करे. हाँ learning करेंगे थोड़ा idea आएगा. But no one can say it is a perfect solution. Right now we are fully prepared, and definitely it is a good. No. We are still not clear. Yes, absolutely. That's my point.
I agree.
I am not saying we are prepared or clear. Please understand that. But what I'm saying is, you have nothing to fear about.
Nothing to fear about.
AI cannot take your job. AI can simplify easier stuff. AI can simplify. Agree with what you are doing. AI can make sure.
I agree. It will change your job.
AI आपके लिए कर रहा है.
Agree. I know the type of job will be changed and the new opportunities will come, but still the fear of accepting the new, or what we call the fear of unknown, is still there. वही मैं कहना चाहता था. That's it.
I basically really love the way the discussion is going on, but the time is not going to permit us to go further. But I just want to thank all of you for being a part of this show, and just wanted to tell you that this discussion will be on maybe in some new topic where AI will be definitely there, and there is no getting out of this concept that artificial intelligence is already there, and we like or we dislike, it's going to be a part and parcel of our life. Even after this webinar, you are going to use AI only, because when you are going to Google for your favorite web series, or you are going to search for your next opportunity, you have to use AI. So my friends, we are already in the sea of AI, and it's time for us to realize that how we can utilize this AI. But I think what we really didn't discuss today is like how we really remain human being even after using the AI, and not get just driven by this artificial intelligence. Because after all, it is humans who have developed this artificial intelligence. Do not forget, AI means replicating the intelligence of human, the cognitive skills we have. Still, I can tell you that when a small baby is spilling water, he can still control, but AI cannot, because AI does not know how to really control the unsupervised learning. So AI can only learn where exactly it is feeded to learn some supervised skills, how to really react to a situation. But those cognitive skills, particularly emotional intelligence, how to really respond to a human behavior, I think that is what AI really has to become smarter. So we have to really keep watching for the technology, how exactly we can embark this new thing, and how AI really shape up in the coming years. But of course, with a positive thought, as everybody has said in the panel, that we have to be optimistic, and we should not forget that we should update, upgrade, and upskill. So of course, I really appeal to all my audiences today that with AI, we have to really push ourselves to go for the new learnings, and do not shy in really upgrading and updating yourself, because it's time for you to understand that what you have been doing so far is just something which is more on your hard skill. It's time for you to concentrate how to boost your soft skill, how to really update your cognitive skills, so that tomorrow you are still alive and you're breathing. So I'm sure we will be back once again with such positive and intense topic, and I hope it will have enough for our thought for the entire weekend to propel for a charged week. Coming up for one more week, we will be looking for one more topic. Till then, stay alert, stay positive. Goodbye to you all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chris, thank you so much for being, we won't be able to take up it further, but sure, we will listen to you what you have. You have a point, I think.
Yeah, sorry, can I go on?
Yeah, please.
No, my parting shot will be that one, we need to appreciate that AI is a source of data, and the data is actually collected from us, and we need to know how this data is protected. That's the reason why I link it up with the matter of legislative framework. We need to have a legislative framework that guides and protects the AI, especially the consumer of the AI product. And finally, we need to have a legislative framework that actually protects the consumer of AI products.
What all can I share with my AI?
Absolutely.
That is important. Absolutely.
Yeah. And finally, there's need for us to create awareness about the AI, because we might not be able to move by ourselves. The whole world might not be able to move by ourselves. Not everybody has the privilege of being able to access the gadgets. We know we come from diverse backgrounds, but then there's need to create awareness about the AI and the AI product. That will be my parting shot. And thank you so much, Mr. Das, for this opportunity.
Thank you. You're most welcome, Mr. Christopher. And I'm also thankful to all my viewers, particularly Mr. Venkat, Mr. Venus, Mr. Arnab, Mr. Aro, Mr. Leonard, who has been wonderfully supporting this show, and all the other viewers who are also watching this. I can just see them. Mr. Funny, Mr. Jabez, Mr. Sai, Mr. Lucas. So I'm really thankful to all of you who basically have been a part of this show, and many of you who basically have joined my session for the first time. I would really appeal you to all to keep watching. Like I can see John for the first time. Anand, thank you so much for joining. So those who are watching this session will again be back next Saturday with one more interesting topic. But this topic will be also available in my YouTube channel, which you can still go and watch. And I would be sharing this entire relate telecast of this premiere tomorrow in the evening. Thank you so much. Till then, stay positive and stay well.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.